That's what makes it fun. And it looks like Hyo is going to kick us off. Uncle does not have a sword here. And just arrows in the chest. So there's a possibility now that the uncle could either have bow, hammer, fire rod, either one of 2 canes, or the 10 bomb upgrade. So which are we going to see?
I know if I were these runners, I'd be hoping for hammer.
Hammer is really handy, especially you can have it and you don't have to worry as much about getting around the dark world. I always like, I'm like them. I like bow personally. And hey, you get your wish.
The big thing about hammer is that it's going to allow our runners to kill as many guards as they want to their heart's content to get that very crucial bomb drop.
Yeah, that's absolutely handy, and it's also something that does tempered sword damage, so killing guards should be not that hard. I say that, but then shields have fun, so
Yep.
Poor Hyo.
Very nice red rupee drops for both of our runners that both of them decided not to grab.
Yeah, the red rupee is definitely something you want to get in the early going. You're going to want to have 100 rupees for the bottle vendor when you go to Kakariko, so that's important.
Possibly 150 if they don't get a bomb drop.
Yeah, that's always hard to farm for bombs, especially if you don't have the gloves in the early going. Piece of heart there in the first chest there.
What would the gloves help you with bombs?
Well, not so much with bombs, but with money farming, actually. If they have to farm, if they have no choice but to farm, there's a couple of areas where they can lift up rocks and lift pots for blue rupees.
Right, but, well, they can also do Houlihan room if they really need to farm for rupees.
More of a desperation tactic, but I do forget Houlihan sometimes, and there's the bomb, so they don't have to worry too much about that now. And that is an unfortunate death there in the early going. It's going to give Khloe an early lead here. Too early to tell whether, one is ahead of the other. Way too early to call that one, but Khloe getting the big key now, and we'll find out what's in Zelda's chest. At least if you die, you don't have to go through and get the key again, so that's always a good thing.
Nope. The biggest problem is that Hyo, I think that was what they were trying to say with their thing. That's how you pronounce their name. Hyo was, didn't grab the bombs before dying, so they're not actually going to have the information that they don't need to be killing guards.
And now Hyo does have the information.
What is Khloe Prower's sprite?
I believe we just have a generic, well, not so generic, but a fox here. A near and dear to my heart creature. And chat knows what the fox says.
Hyo did die early to get this far back.
And Khloe, with the interesting tactic of just rushing right through as much as possible.
Well, Well, I mean, they have bombs, and that's really the only reason you kill enemies here.
True. I guess it does boil down to playstyle. I will kill things if they're in my way to try and get some rupees anyway. If they're really strapped for bombs, though, they can hopefully find some bombs outside of that little hut in Kakariko and then farm there for free, but kind of takes a while to do.
The thing about rupees is that they have a bunch of chests that they're going to be able to open in Kakariko, including the sick kid now. As well as, I think they get 50 rupees for free just from being in Kakariko, basically. 20 from the well and 30 from Thieves Town. Or Thieves Hut, rather.
And a piece of heart on the way out for Khloe there. And only one single rupee in the back of Escape that I saw.
Well, Ohio did get a few bomb drops, not just an 8 bomb drop, so they're completely full on bombs now.
And there's a way to fill our magic woes. One of our tree pull drops is full magic and some blue rupees from our little crab friend.
And another death.
Oh, Hyo, that stinks. That's gonna be rough having a couple of a couple of deaths on Escape. At least there's a checkpoint there, and it's still very early, so there's ample opportunities to catch up. And just a piece of heart where the mushroom usually is. Let's see what's in the Thief's Hut.
Khloe Prower did check the Lumberjack Cave, but like it was very quick.
I didn't see it myself either, unfortunately. But perhaps Hyo can help us out when if he goes up that way. And here we go, Khloe and Kakariko checking out Blind's old hut here.
And yeah, there's all the money they need for the bottle vendor. And Kane.
Oh boy, if Anna Maria was here, he'd go nuts right now. And who can blame him? That is such a utilitarian item right there. But yeah, that's definitely an exciting find, and we haven't even seen what's in the well yet.
Yep.
Well, Zora's starting to become less of a worry too, but that single arrow there, not a heck of a lot in the well, but the 300 rupees is always nice to have in this early going. Hyo doing some money farming before going in to check Lumberjack Cave, and survey says, piece of heart. And we get to see what's inside Crazy Chicken Lady's hut. And they're getting lots of health, so good for the early going, but not really that great for progression. And time to see what Sick Kid has. And just Sick Kid's lunch money.
Peace of mind. It's just something nice. They don't have to come back here just for Sick Kid in the future.
Yeah, that is a good point. I will say though, whenever they do find the powder, if they do it, that will open up the Batcave. So if they get the powder early, they may want to check that. And we're gonna get a race game check here. And just an arrow upgrade. I know I've seen some strats where some people will go right into the race game and quit out if they don't like what they see. Other people will do that, check the ledge first ahead of time. What do you do?
I personally, it really depends on the items. I think if you have a bow, I would be going to Eastern just immediately to go ahead and finish that. But generally speaking, I go south.
Yeah, that's fair. And bottle number 2, they have some good backup reserves, but still not a whole heck of a lot of progression yet. And at least they get that single arrow out of the way from the well, so they don't have to worry about that later on when they're finding stuff. And just some bombs for under the lake there, so not too much in the swamp hut. And here we go, Mini Moldorm Cave. Let's see how troublesome this can go. Oh, using Kingdom Samaria strats. Interesting little early on thing here. And B.
Well, I think the B strats are probably the best. This was the powered up B. He could have sold it for 100 rupees, but I do think this is the better way to use that B.
I agree on that. And there is our Moon Pearl and Blue Mail. So we got a little progression there and some safety. So finally some progression there. Nice. I kind of have to wonder, too, if Khloe Fight doesn't find what they're looking for in Ice Rod Cave, you think the fake flipper will come into play here? Ooh, gotta watch some crabs, or maybe could be setting up for Death Warp, too. Who knows?
Probably going to save and quit from here, to be honest. I don't know what you would save and quit from here for. Or sorry, Death Warp from here for.
Oh, yeah, kind of hard saying, but you never know. Different choices for different people. Choices and gambles are what randomizers playing is all about. And Hyo gets a second bottle. Khloe getting some extra bombs. Good idea. I don't believe either runner has made any sort of a map check, so we don't know exactly what in the Light World is a pendant or crystal dungeon yet. And we have flippers from Sahasrara's closet and a couple of heart pieces. Very nice little bit of progression.
Chloe's probably kicking themselves because I think what they wanted to do up in Ice Rod Cave was take Flipper.
I believe so too, but it's at least in logic now pretty early, so it could very well have some progression somewhere in one of those areas there.
Very clean mini Moldorm Cave by Hyo.
Yeah, that can be a tricky one if you're kind of underprepared like that, so very nicely done. And we have up to 3 items in Eastern Palace, and the compass is definitely not one of them, so there's still more to find here. Yeah, normally we could tell by the music whether Eastern is a crystal or pendant dungeon, but where we don't hear it on Chloe's end right now, it's still up in the air. And there's one of our 3 items, 300 rupees.
We are very likely to see a dark room here, with that first item being compass. Dark room or the final boss is basically guaranteed to have, or is guaranteed to have, an item of some kind.
Yeah, that's about right. The first 2 dark rooms aren't that bad to navigate. It won't be in logic, so they may not find the progression they're looking for. But it's if it has something that they'd have to double dip in for later, that potentially could put them ahead.
Missed out on that bomb drop because of where it dropped, unfortunately.
And there's the big key, so they'll be able to check the big chest right away. That's a nice little place to have it.
Hyo succeeding in that, getting to the fake flippers, so they are going to have just a little bit of efficiency over Khloe Prower here.
Oh, I hate when that happens in my own runs. Arrow to the face. And if you get hit when you fake flipper, that is a 1-hit KO.
That's just a fail-safe to stop our runners from having to deal with soft locks.
Yeah, better to die than to have to reset and completely lose whatever progression you had. That would be even more frustrating, I'll give you that.
Yep. However, Hyo does know that the item on the ledge is completely useless.
And Khloe not finding what they're looking for in Eastern Palace thus far, so where to go next? Let's see.
There is an item on our Armos, yes. Probably going to be swimming at this point. They have a lot of money, though. I think there was a 300 drop in Eastern, if I recall correctly.
There was, yes. So Chloe's set for Zora. It's kind of funny enough. It works out even better this way because not only can Khloe check Hobo here, they can also check the waterfall, and they can check both areas of Zora. So if something vital is on Zora's ledge, then they can pick that up right away instead of waiting. And looky mirror, I love it. Vanity, thy name is Hobo.
I mean, maybe he's just tired of looking at himself.
Well,
So I
if
gave
he's,
it away.
well, if he's not narcissist, then, you know, hey, why not? But technically, mirror isn't progression, but it's so useful, you might as well just consider it a fairly required item anyway. And if it does happen that swamp is crystal, it will be indeed required. And there's our first sword and glove. Nice finds from the waterfall fairy area.
And that is Dark World access. And because we started with Hammer, we can completely clear Thieves Town without any issue.
That's some great finds for our runners here. And just vanilla heart piece on the Zora ledge there.
Khloe Prower is going to go ahead and check Zora, get their very likely life lesson.
Yes. Don't give 500 rupees to fishmen.
Khloe Prower going to Sanctuary with this set of items. I tend to like going the south route when I have Hammer Glove as opposed to Titan's Mints to get into Dark World. Just because you have to go around to get into the Village of Outcasts.
Yeah, that's a good idea. But yeah, we have Dark World access for right here, as you said. One of the only places you can do it. The other being over by Swamp Palace too, if I'm not mistaken. I know some players would probably end up doing an early Death Mountain without the lamp, though that would be a sequence break.
That is one of the things that version 29 I really don't like doing. Sequence breaking just it gives you a false sense of where the seed wants you to go, and that's sort of how I tend to play these.
Sometimes it's good to play it safe. Otherwise, every once in a while, those crazy gambles pay off. So it's really, you never know what random's going to roll at you.
But the big thing is, as Chad is pointing out, Hera's not a crystal, so that sequence break is not actually going to pay out as much as it could.
That is true, but with a high concentration of chests, you never know what you find there even still, because, I mean, you get 7 in Paradox Cave, you got a Spiral Cave check, a couple pieces of Spectacle Rock, so that's like 10 things right there. And a shield is one of the 2 items in Skull Woods. I always say about Skull Woods that, or not the Skull Woods, about the shield, that it's one of those things you gotta upgrade before it gets useful. But having at least the fire shield is nice, especially if you have to take on blind, or if you can find the riot shield too. That makes a lot of places a piece of cake.
Using Super Bunny, the Super Bunny trick to do Super Bunny Cave is outside of logic. You should never be required to do that to finish a seed.
And one of the utilitarian uses of Cane of Samaria right there. If I have to go into Skull Woods, I want that item just for that, because otherwise it is a pain. And there's our second item, Half Magic.
So that is all of Skull Woods there. Well, all the items of Skull Woods. We don't know where the green pendant is yet, so...
Yeah, we're not. I'm not personally sure yet if that's a crystal or a pendant dungeon, but either way, does have to would have to double dip if it is crystal anyway because of the lack of fire rod. And it looks like we're gonna get a little insight on Bumper Cave here. And nothing there but 20 rupees. And Hyo, you get some life lessons. And I think that Khloe is going to do great. Yeah, we're going to see a graveyard ledge check. Good idea. That is a very often forgot about location.
Really, the only reason that he would be going east there, I think, would be to grab Graveyard Ledge and possibly go directly to Catfish while he's over here.
I like this play actually, just to get that out of the way. And even though it wasn't profitable, if it was, then that could be a big lead right there. It's also good too because this is a good way to, like you said, to routing Catfish, but it looks like Khloe's not going to be doing that right now. And Skullwoods was the green pendant. A lot of crystals around, but I didn't catch a lot of the others. I think from what I saw, the Hero was blue pendant, and maybe somebody can fill us in on where red pendant was. Which red pendant does seem to be pod. So pretty much a good amount of information there about thinking about what we'll need for go mode here.
I mean, we have very few items at this point. It's kind of difficult to be talking about go mode yet.
It's true, but you know, never too early to start thinking about what you need, because it is very dungeon dependent after all.
Oh yeah. I think the big thing our runners are looking for is a fire source.
I would agree on that because they're not going to be able to. They're not going to be able to finish Desert without it. And Khloe in Thieves Town, potential of 4 items there. I believe we've seen one already. And a small key there, so something could be in the big key chest. And there's some bombs as an item. It's kind of like they're holding out on them a little bit. And another bottle for Hyo. Boy, he's really getting all the bottles on this one. Don't bottle up any anger here, okay?
That was awful.
You're welcome. And a vanilla piece of heart, but a nice little health upgrade there. So full health again. Always nice when you can get that free health upgrade and not have to worry about using any bottle items, even though he only really has any just magic, so not going to do too much good there. But yeah, even if Thieves Town is dependent, it's not a bad play to go in and check those first 4 chests, because best possible scenario, you could find 3 items right in that front area. And speaking of items, just a piece of heart, so Thieves Town not really panning out so much yet.
I mean, they're going to get a crystal out of this, so assuming they finish here, of course.
There is that crystal progression, but you always want to hope to find the progression as you're going anyway in the dungeon, because you don't want to be searching like little one-off locations because you can't find anything. And Khloe at 1.5 hearts, gotta be careful here.
There are 2 heart drops here, and Khloe is going to be incentivized to kill all of these guards, and they have a chance to have a heart drop, but they just didn't today.
No, their heart will go on and find somewhere else to pop up, so rip.
Hyo getting through Harmless Hellway without really any damage.
And looks like we have a compass in the big chest, so Blind's gonna have something.
Yep, and Khloe is going into Blind with only 3.5 hearts. Let's see how it goes for them.
Yeah, Blind can be dicey in the early going, but the good news is Blind takes the same amount of damage from any sword, so if you have a weak sword, it might not be a bad idea to come here early. And Blind with this pun, as always, you are so near and dear to my heart. Yes, and that's where it gets dicey. Careful, Khloe.
Very,
ho,
very
ho.
nice from Khloe Prower.
Oh, the hair is standing on the back of my neck there. Piece of heart. But the most important part, you got Crystal. You don't have to go back to fight Blind again. That's going to be a relief for Khloe, and it's just way more waste than just 1 or 2. And with that, we have our first crystal about 33 minutes in.
Khloe Prower didn't check Bombable Hut.
Interesting. We'll be checking Diggy Game though, so we'll see if we can dig what prizes here. You dig and you find a shovel. I thought you use a shovel to dig, not dig up a shovel. What the heck is going on here?
That shovel is going to assist Khloe in their routing right here, fortunately.
Oh, it is, but it's just fun. I've never seen a shovel pop up there, so it's just kind of an amusing sight.
Oh, absolutely.
And Hyo taking his turn at Blind here. Good so far. And a heart container, not a bad place to grab it anyway. Not necessary, but always helpful.
generally speaking, looking for that second row of hearts, and that was a damageless blind from Hyo. Very, very well done.
Well, shave him bald and call him Mr. Clean.
I don't know what that means.
Yeah, you ever seen the guy in the Mr. Clean bottle?
Yeah.
There you go.
Saying that Hyo had a very, very clean.
Couldn't get any cleaner than that.
Yeah.
But yeah, Hyo definitely making up some ground here. That's pretty good. And now, ladies and gentlemen, get hype, because you know what time it is, right?
Tripe Cave?
Sure, why not? I love how we even get the Diggy Game music to kind of, like, intro us to Hype Cave this time.
Oh, Silvers. I mean, it's already Hype Cave. Our runners would be very, very happy to... I mean, just Silver Arrows in Hype Cave.
Yeah, nothing good in the back, but I mean, silver arrows. That's always a fantastic find. I'll give it a 5.
I think
Once I get the bow, it'll be more useful. But hey. And we're gonna get our pyramid check now. Pyramid, what will you have for us?
something that makes it not worthwhile to go into pod, I'm sure Chloe's hoping.
Yeah, even if you do have to go into pod, it's got 5 items in it. It's not a bad idea, even if it is pendant.
I mean, powder, that's a lot of safety items very early. We have blue mail, we have powder, we have 3 bottles, despite the fact that Khloe only has 2.
Safety first, but Batcave second. That opens up our resident bat friend for us. Yeah, good idea too. It looks like we're gonna get a catfish routing too, which is probably one of the best ways to do it, I think.
Yeah, if you don't do it now, you're basically going to be orphaning this location and banking on it not having anything. Which, with the fact that they really can't finish any dungeons right now without sequence breaking, this does make a lot of sense.
I can agree with that, and here we go. What does Catfish hold for us today? And Fishman, just giving 20 rupees. Probably gonna be seeing red after that one.
I mean, there's so many rupees. There's so many red rupees in this game.
28 to be precise, if I'm not mistaken.
I believe it is 27 now, ever since randomized weapon on Uncle, because they had to add the 10 bombs to the game.
Oh, hey, that makes life a little less red.
Indeed.
And here, making a play into Swamp Palace without hook shot. They're not going to be able to he's not going to be able to full clear it, or Hyo, excuse me.
He can go all the way to the left side though, which is going to probably. If there's something in here, that is going to be a pretty huge advantage to Hyo, honestly. Swamp Palace is just one of those dungeons that runners tend to push off and push off and push off.
Yeah, it's something I wouldn't personally push off too much because you do have 6 potential items in it. I think it's because of the left side and full clear and wanting to go mode it. I can see why they would want to put it off, though.
You save so much time from just not doing this dungeon early, if it doesn't have anything. Hyo killed blind incredibly well, actually.
And a big key, so key locked, unfortunately. That is a bummer. So it's looking like Swamp may actually be more of a play.
With the 3 bottles, I'm surprised Khloe didn't go ahead and try to do the bottle trick to get the keys and see more of this area. It would be a sequence break, but...
Yeah, that's true. There's our lamp for sure, so yeah, Swamp Palace is definitely a way to go here.
So that lamp puts Death Mountain into logic.
And I see what's going on. Khloe is going to check out the Batcave first. May or may not pan out. Let's see. With powder there, limited things could pay off big here.
At this point, like, I know we know that the progression is lamp, which means that sequence breaking here is the technically correct move, probably, for Khloe Prower.
Yeah, it could very well be. Let's see what Khloe does.
I mean, they're going to Sanctuary, so that we might see a dark room here.
I say, hey, if you're comfortable with the dark rooms, and players should definitely get comfortable with them. It's not a bad. It's not really bad for the navigating. There's that one hole, but other than that, it's not that bad. If you know where you're going, anyway.
Yeah. This dark room, I would say, is probably the second easiest. I wouldn't want to do it without a sword, which the well, it's second or third easiest. I always forget to include Turtle Rock Dark Room in that, because Turtle Rock Dark Room is pretty cool, pretty easy. You just need to press and hold buttons as opposed to actually realize where you are. But this dark room, there's not really any enemies that could kill you. The bats don't really do that much damage. And there's just so many chests payoff possible from doing that dark room, so...
Yeah, if you're gonna do a sequence break, and oh yes, that was so worth it for Khloe. Got his mitts on the mitts. So already that sequence break paying off.
Both of our runners did check Graveyard Ledge, and it was nothing. Oh,
So,
no,
yeah.
no, Khloe checked Graveyard Ledge. I don't know that Hyo did.
So yeah, just hearts and pieces of heart on Spectacle Rock. But that's it's interesting. Both players diverge, and both players finding some sort of progression. So it's still neck and neck. And Hyo looking to retrace some steps here that Khloe did earlier. Khloe going into Hera.
So if Hera requires a fire source, then Khloe's gonna actually have to come back here if there's something important in Hera. No. No fire source required.
And that's why they call them gambles. Sometimes they work out and sometimes they don't. But even if you have to look around Hera, it's a pretty quick dungeon. So as far as searching out pendant dungeons go, it's not that bad of a time loss.
Yeah, very, very quick.
Unless Moldorm hates you, but that's a whole nother story.
Moldorm hates everyone.
Oh, was that a fire rod I just found?
That was a fire rod. So Khloe Prower, depending on how many dark rooms they need, they may be go moding swamp.
Maybe soon. We still have to have a hook shot on that one, but it looks like unless Moldorm has the final item, we. Oh no! Wait, that's fire source. Never mind. It can then fully check Hera. As much as I remember, Fire Rod is a fire source. Sometimes I forget about it when they just get it too. So, always good to know your items, folks.
That was a logically required swamp tip, definitely. I don't know that there was any other areas they could have gone to, but without sequence breaking as Khloe did.
And map, so yeah, we'll maybe checking the basement. We'll have to see. But Moldorm down pretty cleanly, though some close calls there.
Very, very clean. And it looks like we're going to have a bottle glitch from Hyo.
This is going to be an interesting sight. I haven't actually seen this pulled off in any of my matches that I've comped for before. So it's going to be really exciting to see this in action. While Khloe takes a coffee break here.
So the way this glitch works is all you need to do is bomb this wall, get out a bottle, and just keep moving. You need to use a potion and keep moving. That's all that's required. You need to grab this. Normally you would grab the wall and just move the mimics off the screen, but looks like Hyo is going to be just killing the mimics.
Yeah, at the very least, you want to make sure the red mimic stays off the screen because you do need the bow to kill that one. And there you go. That's how it rolls. And Khloe full clearing Hera. I didn't see the item because I was enthralled by the glitch, unfortunately.
I don't think it was anything important, though.
It looks like the fire shield, actually.
Oh, yeah.
It's a shield change. So not a bad find now. That's why I like a progressive upgraded shields. It just helps out a lot. If you're willing to invest in it anyway. A lot of keys in the front going of, and there's our other, but I think that's, we know all 4 bottles are now. But a lot of keys in the front going of pod here. I've heard previous commentators call it Mullet Dungeon, where it is business in the front, party in the back, and I think it's earning that nickname back today.
I mean, it's always had that nickname, and it needs to be that way, or it's very easy to get key locked in this dungeon. I think all the way up to version 28, there were key locks in this dungeon.
Rough. And there's one of our pod items there. A good bunch of rupees and a Bombos medallion in Paradox Cave already could come into play. We'll see how. Can of Burna, a red meringue, a pittance of rupees. It's much kind of an interesting assortment in there, but if one of those medallions needed its bombos, then definitely required.
Yep. That blue cane does put Spike Cave into logic for Khloe Prower.
Indeed, and that wouldn't be a bad check at this point. Probably gonna want to hope to find hook shot along the way real quick, but not that likely. And we're gonna find out the 2 chests here. Hopefully something good. Love and money. Great for life, not as much as progressing in a rando scene, though.
So we're having a major glitch, minor glitch conversation in chat. I will say that that trick was considered a major glitch until just recently. It was recently declassified and turned into a minor glitch by the community. So,
if I'm recalling right, though, it was the if we're talking about the bottle glitch, I believe it was in just that one room, though.
Yeah, you can only use the bottle glitch in that one room. Anywhere else, it is a major glitch.
And Bombos medallion for Turtle Rock, so most definitely required, and opening it up early.
Probably not going to be dipping in here. You don't really want to be doing Turtle Rock twice.
That is kind of a, I don't know, it's pretty much you want to look for the ice. It looks like Khloe's going in, maybe gambling that the ice rod's going to be inside. There's 5 items in Turtle Rock. I mean, it could very well be, but chances are equally likely that it's not, because that ice rod could literally be anywhere. And Hyo is about to find that catfish tastes a lot like disappointment. And here's where the hook shot is a nice little convenience to have. Unfortunately, Khloe not having it, so going to have to use some vanilla strats here. Not that hard, but if you get used to having the hook shot, it can be something you got to think about a little bit more. And there is our bow. Now we can finish Pod, we can finish Eastern. So, ooh, yeah, that opens up a lot right there. Still may be a double dip, but if you can, if I see it, if you can complete 2 crystal dungeons now, and just have to go back in the Turtle Rock later, that not the worst of double dips. And there's our big key. Watch out for those chain chomps. Those things hit like trucks.
That is the worst room in the game. And no one is going to convince me otherwise.
And here's where safety powder comes into great play here. Nice health refill from the anti-fairy. Even better if you have bug catching net, in case you want the insurance fairies.
Oh, Khloe Prower is definitely going to be going all the way to Laser Bridge. I can't imagine they don't here.
And there's our riot shield. Vanilla, well, not vanilla location, but vanilla dungeon.
Certainly going to make Laser Bridge much easier.
And some other places easier, including fighting the red mimics in Ganon's tower. Because spitting is a dirty habit, and you don't have to put up with it. And let's see what's inside our mimic cave there. Kind of creepy these things are actually the, I don't know if it's Goraya or Goria or however you pronounce it. It's supposed to be like from the first game, but very different. They're creepy this time. Nothing much from Mimic Cave, unfortunately, though.
Hyo going ahead and demonstrating the Japanese 1.0 glitch of being able to be damaged while falling.
Oh, that is such a glitch I hate. That is just mean. I've had my share of unfair run deaths happen just because of that.
So they're gonna want to use Hammer here because it does 3 damage as opposed to just 1 with the Fighter Sword.
Not a bad idea to steady yourself holding the sword, but you want to be careful, and that's why. Oh, bye-bye.
Oh, sorry, 2 damage. You require 6 shots on the tail. Fighter Sword does 1 damage. Tempered Sword does 2. And Gold Sword does, like, 4, I think.
Hey, whatever defeats Moldorm faster, I am down with it. And there's our hookshot. TR holding a lot of nice items here so far.
Yeah, the dip into Totorock is the play here. Very lucky for Khloe Prower.
Yeah, definitely not getting the ice rod that they were hoping for, but definitely getting, I mean, you get hookshot, you got bow. I mean, you can't complain about that whatsoever.
Absolutely absurd amounts of progression here.
And meanwhile, while Hyo takes his coffee break, I want to say that both of these runners have been doing an absolute fantastic job so far throughout this run. So if you're liking what you're seeing as much as I am, please give them a follow on Twitch. They will be doing many more good stuff that you can see. So they're earning their keep so far. It is worth it.
I think based on what Khloe knows, they've got to know for a fact that Lantern is in this dungeon. Lantern or that other thing. The fluty thing. The flute. Flute. Yeah, that one.
The fluty thing that is the flute. I like it. Yeah, because you still need some things. I mean, you need your ice rod, you need your flute, you need your lamp, of course, just for the sake of logic. I feel like I'm missing one or two other things somehow, but
I
potentially medallions.
So yeah, there's potential for a lot of things, but we could be in go mode with just the flute at this point. Flute and ice rod rather. Hyo, not having checked this Dark World location, so does not actually have the Bombos tablet or Bombos medallion yet.
Hopefully he thinks to go back into the light world and check out Paradox Cave. So that it won't be too far to go back at least and open it up, so.
Probably, if I had to guess, they're going to be going to Hookshot Cave. Oh no, they can't do anything in Hookshot Cave. Probably going to go directly to Paradox Cave then, right after this spiral cave. Yeah, the only way to get to Mire without flute is by doing some clipping that is very, very much not allowed. Definitely major glitching there.
Yeah, that would be a very sad end to a very good run if that happened. But our players know better. They're doing great with what they can do anyway, and it makes it that much more exciting anyway. So there's Lamp. Khloe opting to finish off Argus first instead of check out left side, which I think, if I recall correctly, left side was pretty much a bust. So that's a good call. And hello, Mr. Bombos Tablet. How are you today? Or Bombos Medallion, excuse me. And not much but a bomb upgrade there so far. Still looking around. And there's our big key. Not necessarily needed to finish the dungeon, but I would imagine Khloe's gonna want to go back anyway. Probably to check left side to see if Ice Rod is there, which we know is not. But, you don't know. She don't know. And Argus here definitely being one of those breather bosses, but with the only the fighter sword in tow, I'm gonna have to do a lot of menuing. Not hard, just really irritating.
Yeah, this is honestly one of my favorite bosses to do with just the hammer. I don't know why, I just love opening that menu.
The other thing I just remembered now is that our runners are going to need to find another sword upgrade to progress, because you cannot defeat Ganon with Fighter Sword alone.
Nope, you need at least Master Sword.
And Khloe does want to be careful. Not that many hearts left.
They have a fairy. It's not actually that big a deal.
Well, it's not that big of a deal, but you kind of want to have your fairy for other things and not Argus, you know?
Yeah, but it's not as like dire a situation as it might seem, I guess is what I'm trying to say.
No, I gotcha.
Very,
And-
very clean kill.
One shot, one kill. Blue rupee, but you know, that looked cool. You get a crystal out of it. You can call yourself Go-Go 13 if you want to. That's how we end the Swamp Palace dungeon right there.
And Hyo making the play into Turtle Rock. We do know that this is basically required. There's not really very many other places they could have gone, now that I think about it.
But with the bow, oh, the places you'll go.
Thank you, Monsieur Seuss.
And
Oh no, he is not
Oops.
going to get that hook shot anytime soon.
no, I got a little overexcited there. Then again, it's one of those games. Oh, hey, there is a flute.
Which is behind the hook shot, which could mean absolute disaster for Hyo here.
Man, that's rough to see as a commentator, because you know, like once you get bow, yeah, you think, yeah, now I can finally do stuff. But this is one of those reasons why I personally try to full clear dungeons as much as I can. I do get wanting to go back and pod, though.
I mean, all they have to do is finish it at this point. They have the bow, so in silver arrows, so they're going to be able to one-shot Helmasaur.
So I think still one of our bigger questions is where's Ice Rod? So it could very well be in pod. Who knows? We're going to find out.
The best thing that can happen to Hyo is that Ice Rod is on one of these two bosses.
And there's a little more love, and that finishes it out. So, yeah, Swamp Palace, Turtle Rock, those are the definite biggins today.
Those are not words you want to hear a commentator saying, I think. If you're in a race.
I think the worst is if I said Ice Palace. That's not the chill from the temperature of the palace. That is the chills you're thinking about of having a full clear instead of being able to go mode it.
I think Swamp Palace is a much more. Well, yeah, you shouldn't be hearing the commentators if you're in a race anyway. But I personally think Swamp Palace is a much more annoying full clear than Ice Palace, but that's just me.
I'm not too personally bothered by it myself, mostly just because of the item density.
I guess the fact that there's only 2 items in Ice Palace is a problem.
3 actually, but you know, still 3 over 6. The math works out for itself.
Did I say 2? I definitely meant 3.
No big. And we're finally getting our Meyer check, and it is Ether. So we have a required Ether tablet somewhere to find.
Medallion.
Medallion, thank you.
I mean, I just said the wrong number of items in an Ice Palace. I think I made the worse, more egregious mistake.
Well, I keep calling them tablets, so
I mean, what
I,
if you could go and just grab the tablet and just bring it with you? I was like, oh, check the tablet. I don't have the Master Sword yet. I guess I'll just grab the tablet and bring it with me.
yeah, that thing would be so big. I'm pretty sure it'd take up all your item slots. And Khloe jumping in to do desert first.
This is very interesting considering Desert is a pendant dungeon here. But Khloe, as we've seen, is not opposed to just making gambles. We might see a key steal here, which would be very interesting. But that's all they wanted to see was the ether medallion. I was about to say the same thing you did.
I'm contagious, but I mean that was almost key under the doormat right there.
Yeah.
Kind of, it's always kind of amusing when that happens, to be honest.
I mean, like, there was a key under the doormat for Turtle Rock too.
Oh, and there's a sword. Khloe jumping out a little quick and then realizing, oh, hey, I need that.
Swords are good.
Swords are great for poking and slashing. Don't you forget it.
So yeah, we are just that ice rod away from go mode.
Nice job in the turtle room by Hyo there. And there goes Agina's bank savings. Definitely a good way to route that in. I feel like Khloe's routing quite a bit here, actually, in this run. It seemed a little offbeat at times, but, you know, in hindsight or retrospect or whatever you want to call it, it seems it works out very well. And down goes the Helmasaur. And also getting the Master Sword. Oh,
so we're gonna have
boy.
at least a Tempered Sword, probably, for both our runners by the end of this run.
Tempered Sword is always a great thing to have, just because the jump in damage from Master to Tempered is just massive. The only way I'd want to lose my temper is if I got butter, because butter makes everything better. So we have two potential items in mire here. We'll have to see what's going on in here.
Hyo just taking all of the opposite gambles of Khloe Prower, and for some reason every gamble that they're taking is not paying off.
Sometimes that's just the luck of the rando. It hurts, but you know, that's, like I said, that's why you call them gambles. You don't know what, you know, whether it's gonna work out for you in the end.
And without hookshot, this may be some interesting bomb jumping coming in, depending on if this is a small key.
Yeah, I've tried that. I've tried doing that bomb jump a couple times without hookshot, and that placement I found can be pretty tricky. Then it's not an often one thought about, because when you're thinking bomb jumps in Ice Palace, you're thinking of the one in the fire bar room there. That's the one you want to practice.
Yeah. That one saves just so much time.
There's many different ways of doing it. How do you go about it personally?
I do it based on the top of the head, but I do know how to do it based on the sword.
I've been actually using the doorway as reference, and that's been working out for me pretty well. Using the head, of course.
Right. But you do need, if you want to use different sprites, you need to be able to do it with either the shadow or with the sword. And some sprites don't even have a shadow.
Yeah, when I tried to do it with the Wiz Robe, that did not work out very well at all.
Very quick setup there.
Yes, very nicely done, IPBJ. And we have our, we got the big key there. Myers kind of an interesting situational thing. If you're one of the players who does have the ability to hover, and you find the big key on that right side half bridge, I think pretty much be able to just hover over and then skip a lot of that dungeon. Tempered sword, Chloe's gonna be finding butter sword.
Yeah. Ganon should be shaking in his boots because he is going to go down very quick from both of our runners.
Gonna shake it like a Polaroid picture at this rate. And there's a big key for Hyo there. We'll be able to check the big chest, see what happens. The one good thing, too, about having silver arrows especially, is it makes the Vitreous fight so easy. There's a very good reason why I call it Clear Eyes. It goes so fast, you can't help but go, wow. And Hyo ghosting through those doors, I always like seeing that. It just amuses me for some reason.
It is amusing. We are going to see my favorite kill of Vitreous, because this boss is not fun.
No.
But suddenly it becomes the best, most funnest fun boss in the game if you have silver arrows. Just because of, oh my goodness, there is Boots.
What a nice find for Hyo there.
And that location is not hookshot locked. Not that that matters, but that's good to know.
And here comes Clear Eyes. Wow. Unfortunately, it's just a map, but you know what? Crystal beats map any day, like paper beats rock. And Hyo getting Metroidized there Hyo getting Metroidized there for a moment. Wow, my mouth is not working that great today. Excuse me.
It's fine. It happens to the best of us.
Expeed Bob Blue blah 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 blah.
Yeah. Ice Rod on Ped is possible. Very, very possible. It is the only required item that could be on Ped at this point.
So Ped Seed is still alive. Just barely, chat. So Lust for Blood is still there.
Not only is it alive, it's pretty likely at this point. At the very least, Ice Rod looks like it's probably going to be in a pendant dungeon.
I didn't see it, but I think we still have another item in desert potentially as well, because I think Chloe noped
we
out of
definitely
there.
do. We definitely do.
Okay, I just want to make sure I didn't miss anything there. And a gorgeous cold stare. I love Hyo's boss execution here.
Hyo's boss execution has been absolutely top notch.
That's the kind of execution you really want to practice up and show off.
Probably going to see a dip into Skull Woods here from Hyo. That is the next place they could go, I think. Yeah, Hyo did Pod and Hyo did Ice Palace.
Yeah, I don't know how well. I don't think Skullwards is gonna work out as well as Hyo hopes. But you know, we've been surprised by the boots here. We could get surprised by something else.
I mean, I think it's pretty likely that Skullwoods, that Green Pendant has, is required here.
Right, because after I opened my big mouth, I realized that they did get the 2 items from Skull Woods, so...
Rick is the punny one. The one that's not me.
But we still love you, Kemps, anyway.
I'm usually the punny one. You just beat me to it on everything.
And here we go. Yeah, gotta be a always a quick clear of Eastern. Yeah, I always have a little trouble getting those in one go as well, so that was a tricky one. And use arrows, get more arrows. And a crystal for your troubles. And that is the 4th crystal so far for Chloe. And funny enough, Hyo is also sitting on 4 crystals as well.
Chloe's still ahead, though, unfortunately. Unfortunately for Hyo fans.
But crystal-wise, though, it's still pretty neck and neck.
Well, yeah, but Hyo has to go back to Turtle Rock, and the only saving grace is if the ice rod is not behind the flutes, but it's slowly becoming apparent that might not be the case.
Yeah, there's things is getting rough in that search for the ice rod. I tell you, that was a major find for the last match I commentated for, and once again, it's a major find again. So it's looking. So chat reminding us too that Swamp and Pod were the red crystals this time around. So Pyramid Fairy could very well be in Logic very shortly here.
Khloe Prower not doing the back of Pod at all.
Interesting choice there. Though I think did Chloe visit earlier, I believe, or am I thinking of watching Hyo?
No, Chloe didn't do bottle glitch, so they have skipped a bunch of Pod here.
That's right. That's right.
I mean, fortunately for them, there is nothing here. But if you're looking for that ice rod, this is a very risky play they're taking.
Very, yeah, definitely very unorthodox.
Khloe has not done purple chest.
And a full heart container in the hammer pegs there.
So purple chest and Skull Woods.
And a nice Helmasaur fight there. And ladies and gentlemen, bosses, now watch out. You are not immune to the effects of cholesterol.
Khloe with that butter sword is going to be doing an absurd amount of damage now.
And let's see what's behind purple chest. Survey says nothing.
Going ahead and checking. This cave, they're not going to get anything from it. Khloe Prower going back into sort of pod to finish this. Makes perfect sense. Hyo basically has Turtle Rock and Skull Woods left to go into, and I think Skull Woods is the play, but we'll see if that's what they decide to do.
Yeah, so Hospital could have something, but it looks like Hyo's going to dip back into Turtle Rock, which I can definitely see. You've gotten all the items, and let's check in Sahasrahla. That's a really big out-of-the-way maneuver just for one item, so I can see Hyo going with the odds here and going back into Turtle Rock.
So Khloe Prower actually did a unintended glitch here. If you go up the stairs while the bomb is going off, one of two things can happen. It goes off very, very late, which they did the second time, or it goes off twice and hits the switch twice. Because essentially you created a cutscene at the beginning and at the end of the bomb explosion, which causes the bomb to explode to hit the switch twice.
It is very annoying, I will add. And here, and Spike Cave check for Hyo. Mushroom! We are finding another fetch quest. But yeah, I always wondered why sometimes that would go off twice on me. I never knew that. Thank you.
It looks like Hyo is going to be running towards that the potion shop because they really don't want to have to double dip into Turtle Rock.
And when do you ever want to? You know, that's always a rough place to do that. And turning in Mushroom, and let's see what we get. Just some money for shady business. Well, at least there's some emergency potions, so not the worst thing in the world, but still kind of a bummer not finding that elusive ice rod. Khloe taking a jump into Ice Palace now.
And Hyo finally going back to the rock. They've got to be kicking themselves at this point.
Yeah, I'd definitely be feeling like I was behind right now if I was in Hyo's shoes there. Just getting overexcited and getting out of there as soon as I got the bow. It's just ouch. And some fun pug bonking there, and I always like seeing this Stalfos room in Ice Palace get the good 2-for-1 kill, just like Khloe demonstrated and Hyo did earlier. That is always a nice one to see, no matter how many times I see it.
It's also pretty easy to do.
Kind of like one of those impress your friends with this trick. And setting up for the Ice Palace bomb jump here. Almost there. It is a very pixel perfect jump. There we go. Little trouble, but we've all had our troubles with that thing at one point or another.
Neither of our runners have done Hookshot Cave yet.
Yeah, so our Ice Frog is still very well beaten there. I almost forgot about that, actually. Watch out, Hyo. Play it safe.
Very clean. Very, very clean from Hyo there.
Ooh, Khloe almost missing it the second time there. Nice save that second time. And the ghosting through. Impress your friends. Go through doors. That anti-fairy not playing nice for Khloe. Sometimes they don't. Diagonals are always fun, not just here, but in any video game.
They're especially fun in Mario RPG, considering that entire game is diagonals.
And Khloe getting their boots.
Where is this ice rod? Goodness gracious.
I'm pretty sure since Moldorm went down so easy, I bet it hid Ice Rod in a very special location just to get the last chittering laugh.
I would guess that from here, we're probably going to see Khloe Prower do a full clear of Desert Palace.
Yeah, that would be that could be a fair assessment. I'm kind of curious too when either of our runners will check out Hookshot Cave.
We might see it from Hyo right after this.
There's our Quake Medallion, not particularly useful now. Oh hey, I got Medallion right this time.
Good job.
I feel good, but not half as good as our runners are going to feel after they find that ice rod wherever the heck it is.
Yep. Hyo, dodging a bullet, they actually skipped right side of Ice Palace because they didn't do that hookshot bomb jump.
There we go. Cold Stare shouldn't be too difficult at this point, but you know, you do want to keep your health up anyway.
I mean, it's 3 swipes with the gold sword on each eye to kill Cold Stare. Like, you might blink and miss this fight.
Give Cold Stare the visual cold shoulder. Hyo gets the ice, not the ice rod, the hook shot. Excuse me. And with that, we have the Ice Palace Crystal, and Khloe only needs one more for Turtle Rock, but is going to have to be searching for a little while longer. This has got to be rough because with these runners, they got to be thinking, where the heck is that thing? Where's the next place I should be looking at?
Hyo gonna do Swamp Palace and get their flute, which is gonna lead them into Mire. They're going to be able to combo Mire and Desert Palace, possibly. They'll probably do Mire first and then Desert Palace, if I had to guess.
Yeah, I would imagine that. I mean, Mire's Crystal and then Desert's Pendant. Khloe, there's still the one item in Desert. There's still Hookshot Cave. I don't think they've checked Spike Cave. So, oh, and Bonk Rocks. Oh, Bonk Rocks is another one of those you forget about.
Hyo has checked this. Hyo did all the bonking locations.
Ah, I must have missed that earlier then.
And the big reason not to do Hookshot Cave there is that Hookshot gives them access to a crystal dungeon, which is probably higher on their list of things to do.
So let's see, we're in Village of Outcast. Aha, yes, doing the, I think we're finally doing the right side of, the village stuff. You know, getting the smithy, getting the door, getting the purple chest, hammer pegs. Oh, he hasn't done that yet.
Red mail here, yeah. Hyo did all of this, though.
Right, but Khloe hasn't.
Khloe hasn't, yeah. Hyo did miss Quake in Ice Palace. So that might be in the back of their mind that there's Ice Palace items that they could be getting. But it's probably not going to be in the back of their mind. Probably not going to be something they check until after they go to Desert Palace.
Yeah, exactly. And I can only imagine finding Quake there is going to be mostly disappointing at best. So we'll have to see where things end up because there's not too many more locations left that both players haven't checked. So be interesting to see where our ice rod is hiding.
In this seed, I do believe that yes, in fact, the right side chests of Ice Palace are hookshot locked by logic. There are several ways to get them. There's a bomb jump you can do. You can just re-enter the dungeon with a extra key. Hyo deciding against doing menu strats. Something they can choose to do simply because they do not have to have fighter sword here.
Ooh, that was almost a nice one clean shot, but the second one does the trick. And with that, Hyo gets his next crystal, and we'll be moving on to likely Meyer once they open that big chest up.
And Khloe going to be going to... Where is Khloe going, actually? Oh, they are going to the bomb shop to talk to a fairy about a ice rod, hopefully.
Yes, I almost forgot about that. And of course, I said it earlier and then promptly forgot. Good job. I love how that super bomb does no damage where your regular bomb does. And Hyo getting that getting that flute. We know what's next. That's right. Filling up health with the priest.
Yep. And then Meyer.
Here we go. Drum roll, please.
Nope.
And nothing but the Bank of the Dark World.
Okie dokie. Show me Desert Palace, Khloe.
And asking you shall not quite receive. Well, yeah, because you don't have the book, so yeah. Asking you shall receive. I think at this point, the book is the last thing Khloe wants to see at this point, because that means, oh boy, is this going to end up being the ped seed after all?
Yeah, definitely not looking forward to... Well, I mean, you don't need book for ped seed. All book opens up is the two not medallions. I'm getting it backwards. Tablets.
No, but it kind of suggests that, hey, it would suggest to me maybe, hey, maybe it's time to go check that out and see if what I'm dreading is gonna come true. Khloe did say they didn't want to find late books, so I know Khloe's not going to be very happy if they find a book right about now.
Hyo finally getting that tempered sword. They've got to be happy to see that. Khloe getting both items out of Desert Palace. That means that it's either Hookshot Cave or Behind Pendants. Like, those are the choices.
Yeah, and if that was the case, I would be thinking hookshotting.
I mean, that's 4 items versus 2, so it's actually pretty a bit more likely that it's in Hookshot Cave.
And Chloe's just gonna go ahead and beat Desert. Not the worst of ideas, because if it does end up being a ped seed after all, just, you know, you're that much ahead. So, and then Skull Woods is fast and just warp back, bam, there you go.
Hyo doing exactly what Khloe did, going directly to Meyer, deciding against passing go or collecting $200.
Give that salary to charity, folks. So yeah, I guess not the worst of moves to make, but if it does happen to be that the gamble is ped seed, well, you know, there you go. If not, well, at this point you really haven't wasted too much time with the length of the dungeons.
Pretty clean here.
And that too, thinking routing wise, kind of works to jump. It might work to jump around a little bit better, because if you do have to go back into you got to go back into Turtle Rock anyway. Then you can just go over to Hookshot Cave and then go into Turtle Rock. If you do find Ice Rod there and just wham it through. So this actually seems to make some fairly okay. You know, it makes some good routing sense to me.
Yeah. This will be the first time that I've seen a pull of Ped before a check of Aga. Sorry, a blind pull of Ped before checking Aga.
I don't usually pull on blind. He does a lot of damage.
Well, I mean, in his girl form, he doesn't.
So yeah, I think I think I'm seeing chat get ped hype. I want to see some more. I want to see some more ped hype, chat. Get like overhype.
I have no idea where a half magic was. I think it might be in Meyer.
Half magic was actually in Skull Woods, if I remember correctly. That was the other item.
Oh, okay.
That's also what I love about that Fire Rod and having half magic. It makes this so much better to kill those annoying Gibdos. And then you don't have to worry about those Wall Masters. Ask me about my 7 times having to do back of Skullwoods later.
Maybe not. I don't need nightmares. Khloe Prower doing tempered sword damage on this boss. That was a glitch that they found where the gold sword wasn't damaging this boss because of how it was programmed in the original game. But
and with that green pendant, here we go. Head to ped. If I had dramatic music, I would be playing it right now, but bum 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 bum. Close enough. Is it? Is it? Is it? No!
2 more locations is what it is. This
Late
could be a required
book.
ped. This still could be a required ped.
I hate to yell at it, but it's like, that is the thing Khloe did not want to see! Oh my goodness, the irony! It had to be a blind pull. There it is, Ice Rod.
The Ice Rod.
So Green Pendant was required after all. My goodness me.
So that is go mode for Khloe Prower.
And a very good go mode because, I mean, the last dungeon is Turtle Rock, and it's pretty much spitting distance from Ganon's Tower, so it's kind of how you want to end up. It took us a while to get into go mode, but finally, we are here. Unfortunately... Go ahead, I'm sorry.
I just said 1 hour and 50 minutes in.
Unfortunately, go moding Turtle Rock is roughly the same as full clearing it, but speaking of clear eyes for Hyo. Wow.
Indeed. I mean, Khloe already cleared Turtle Rock, so this isn't really go moding this.
Yeah, it's in general, yeah, but you still have to wade your way all through again, so it's not like a super fast thing like going through Ice Palace or Swamp Palace. That was a very rude anti-fairy there. And I wonder if Hyo is going to be thinking the same thing and actually finishing off Desert at this point.
I mean, that's what they're doing. I guess the question is, after seeing this item, are they going to actually finish Desert?
That's what I was getting at. Excuse me. And the answer is no. Good call.
Looks like they're going to Skull Woods. This will make up some time, but probably not enough to catch up to Khloe Prower. I would give Khloe a good 5 minutes ahead at this point.
I would too. And with that Butter Sword, we should have a pretty clean and easy Trinex fight.
Yep, just 3 hits with that sword on either head will clear it out. Either of the... any of the heads, actually. It's only 3 hits.
It's a lot better than having to do Master Sword for it, let me tell you from experience.
Oh, if I have Master Sword, I just do hammer strats.
And pretty clean second Trinexer, nicely done. And I'm gonna go ahead and start this early. You know what time it is?
Tool time? Oh no, Ganon's Tower big key time.
That's right. There are 22 possible locations the big key could be in Ganon's Tower. Get your guesses in now, my friends. If you have donated enough bits or are a subscriber, you could earn some space on the leaderboard if you guess correctly. So, Kemps, where are you thinking? Where's it at?
17. 17 100% of the time.
Fair enough. You know what? I don't think this seed has done enough of its fair share of trolling yet. I don't remember where it generally is in traditional routing, but the tile room.
That's 22.
22 it is then. And now that we're here, let's see whose guess is correct, now that we already have 1 and 2 in the way.
Looks like they're doing full right side, which is going to actually move my guess from after Armos into the randomizer room.
Will still be interesting to see. And 3, 4, 5, and 6, still searching.
Oh, Hyo, finish. Did they finish Skullwoods?
Yeah, I thought he. Yeah, he did. I saw him. I saw him finish Skull Woods. Maybe got the idea after doing Skull Woods to just finish off Desert after, but I don't know.
Anyway, this is 8, 9, 10, and 11.
Still keeping my 22 dream alive. Normally, this is a room I like to guess right here, and I would still be wrong.
That was 12?
And Hyo getting the red pendant now, so pretty much all pendants get at this point. Now let's see what Hyo decides to do while we keep track of the big key game.
I mean, the fast move is Sahasrara. That was definitely 13.
And Hyo going to get Ped to find a nasty surprise inside. It's like finding a ready mousetrap inside of a box of Cracker Jack. I think we're at 17 now.
We're at 17, yeah.
And Hyo realizing it is the pet of knowledge. And here we go. Poor Bob, he just looted his stash. Now he'll never be able to buy all the things he needs. And nice and smooth, almost Knights 2 fight.
19, 20, 21!
20 now, 1 was the magic number. Let's find out if anyone guessed 21. And congratulations, Silk Soldier, you were the closest, as was I in a way, but I'm gonna let you get all the credit for it. All close contestants will also receive a coupon good at the Swamp Palace Spa. Without the Moon Pearl, you'll feel like a whole new you.
Let's be real. What you're really going for is that sense you get when you were correct on the internet. That just sense of absolute glory.
For honor, for glory, for all the points. We're getting some nice clean gauntlet by Khloe here. I like it.
I mean, they've got almost 2 full rows of hearts here.
Yeah, kind of impressive. You don't often see this many hearts in a rando battle.
I have to imagine that Hyo has just forgotten Sasha. Like, they've got to go there.
I think so too. I think Hyo is just really confused at the moment. Though you do gotta admit, it is a pretty mean place to hide the last progression item.
Yeah.
Beautifully done, second Wizrobe room with the Cane of Sumeria. That's a difficult one to do, so I'm always impressed to see that one done so cleanly.
It's gonna be close.
Ooh, we nearly had a rude door there.
But she made it.
That's one to get the blood pumping, folks.
Nothing left to check. We are dressing to the nines. We do not have any reason to open chests at this point.
And a nice quick health refill. And magic refill. Nice. Good call. And now we have Moldorm 2. Gotta be careful here as well. Oh no, it's Moldezuma's revenge.
So the seed was mean. Like, technically required double dip of Turtle Rock, required double dip, logically required double dip of Swamp Palace.
Second time was a charm there for Khloe, but yeah, I'd expected a lot of double dipping. And no checking of that final chest. No time for that.
I mean, yeah.
I mean,
They got things to do, pigs to kill.
Feeling behind a little more after falling to Moldorm, so we always hate Moldezuma's revenge for that. And couldn't tell if that registered as a single or double. They kind of hit around the same time.
I think that was a single, so we have 2 singles here.
And the trigonometry not working out so friendly for Khloe here, but there's the double.
Yep, that confirms that the first hit was a single.
And Hyo almost going the right way, we know, but no, not into Dark World.
Checking the bombs.
That too, but we all know that's not the play to make at the moment. At least as viewers and commentators.
Yep.
Riddle me this, Ganon. I won't give you an answer.
Only 6 hits there, and we are good.
Oof, yeah, it was pretty clean with the bats aside from, that one hit aside. I've seen those bats be very, very troublesome. And there we go. No more teleporting for you. And Torch Glitch activated. Ooh, almost had the triple there, but got the double.
Needs to be in position, like, really quickly for that triple. I have
to worry about there.
Anyway, GG to Khloe Prower.
Have you managed it?
No, I haven't even managed a triple.
But yes, GG Khloe Prower, who has
with a official speed racing TV time of 2 hours, 8 minutes, and 17 seconds. GG. Let's see if we can get him in here.
Indeed, and Hyo. Let's see. I don't want to say he's forfeiting, but by the stalling of that could be. Nope. Hyo continues. Good. I didn't want to just assume it, but. But let's see. Yeah, that was definitely a mean ice rod. I will tell you that much. Oh, and I hear something.
Hello.
Hey, Khloe, GG. Congratulations on your win. How you feeling?
Thank you. That was pretty intense.
We do have a couple questions for you. The number one question is, why'd you skip the Bumble Hut in Village of Outcasts?
Did I?
Yep.
And I hear something.
Bumble Hut and Outcast.
Hey,
Khloe,
GG.
I hit it on my
Congratulations on
way.
your
You
win.
need
How
to
you
turn
feeling?
off your background noise.
I know I talk a lot, but this is ridiculous.
Sorry.
We do have a couple questions for you. The number one question is, why'd you skip
I thought
the
I hit it
Bumble
on my
Hut?
way.
So it had a bottle in it,
In
and you
those
only have 3
podcasts.
bottles. So
I think
Yep.
I have 4. It's the one down south in Village of Outcasts. I thought for sure I hit it.
nope.
I'm so confused because I went to Graveyard Ledge
Turn off
and
your
I routed
background
around
noise.
Village of Outcasts.
I know I talk a lot,
Oh,
but this
well.
is ridiculous.
You still need to turn off your background noise, Chloe.
I'm sorry, I don't have anything up. Everything's on mute.
Okay, there it goes. Anyway, how are you feeling? You pretty much 100% that seed.
Yeah, I did do everything.
I think you missed 5 chests in Ganon's Tower and the 4 chests in Hookshot Cave, and that was about it.
Yeah, Ganon's Tower, I didn't do the top because I was panicking. I didn't do Hookshot Cave because I didn't have Hookshot for... I was gonna mirror out to do Hookshot Cave, and then I was just like... I didn't think about routing because I was in the midpoint.
Yeah, what are the chances? And the answer is, I mean, like, it wasn't anything, but it was just that thing that was probably just in the back of your mind of while you're doing those pendant dungeons, I would guess.
Yeah, I also didn't do the tablets. But yeah, I mean, that was... I told Rick when I was starting that if Turtle Rock was going to be available, I was just going to go do it immediately.
Your opponent like dipped into Turtle Rock shortly after you did, but unfortunately they dipped, got the bow, and then left.
I was 100% thinking about that. I'm like, I should leave. I should go do Eastern Palace and Pod. And then I'm like, you know what? No, I'm going to finish it. And I got Hookshot for it.
The hookshot ended up being your
I mean, the logic wanted you to go...
double dip swamp, double
Yeah,
dip Turtle Rock. It was crazy.
They wanted you to go to Swamp to get the lamp so you could get the mitts from Old Man. So you could go back to Swamp to get the flute.
Yep.
And that's why knowledge of dark rooms is a great thing, because yeah, that sequence break worked out fantastically for you.
Well, when I got to that point, my options were either Swamp Agena or, Death Mountain. And I'm like, Lamp's got to be somewhere down there. I'm just going to do Death Mountain.
Yeah, definitely good call there on that one.
I think the only way it could have backfired on you is if it wasn't Lamp that was stopping you from going to Death Mountain, but was instead Flute.
I figured that was a possibility. But either way, progression was on Death Mountain, or it was in Misery Mire, which would have been awful for me if my gamble didn't work out. Yeah, I mean, you would have had to not double dip TR. You would have had to go up to Hera to get the fire rod, then go back down and clear an empty pendant Skullwoods.
Yeah, that was really all over the place for you there.
I mean, you probably saw me second guess myself when I was leaving Desert Palace. I went back in just to kill the boss because I wanted to route in Ped after I finished Skullwoods.
I mean, that was a good routing decision there.
And of course, Book was on Ped.
Yep.
Yeah, I remember you. I remember you telling me. Oh,
Go ahead.
Yeah, guys, I remember you saying, Chloe, that you did not want to see late game Book, and lo and behold, what were you thinking when you got the book off of Ped? I just got to know that since we talked about it.
I was just laughing to myself because I'm like, this is like, how am I gonna route this? So I'm glad I made the Shahasala play first because it was just awful. I would have to go down to Bombos, but then I had Spike Cave still to do too, and do Ether Spike Cave, but that was just...
It was definitely a mean seed. Anyway, Hyo is headed into Ganon's Tower. Let's see how they decide to route it. If they do the traditional route, they will find it their big key a bit faster than you did.
Yeah, I did everything except tile room. It was my second to last chest.
Do you know? Just out of curiosity, do you normally go right first thing, or is that just kind of a gamble there?
It was spur of the moment. I had, like, if I find a key, I'm gonna go right just because I feel like I'm behind. Like, I felt behind because I went to go fake flipper and I died to a crab at the start, and then I went to Shar Hustle and found flippers, and I'm like, there's something flippers locked, and both sword and the first glove were behind flippers.
Yeah, it's funny. I hadn't seen Waterfall Cave come up with a whole lot of useful items in previous things, and then just to find the sword and the glove there was like, yeah, this that scene really loved you there.
Yep, looks like Hyo is going to get actually get their big key after you did with Chestnut 22 because they went ahead and cleared tile room.
Us 22 guessers would have been right all along.
Just keeping with the theme of the seed.
It was not a particularly nice seed, I will say that. I think Sasha is the place that no one wants to see the last progression item, simply because Ped might be on your mind the entire game. Sasha just isn't.
Right, and I mean the thing is Skull Woods too. That's like we found both items in Skull Woods super early because we had Samaria, so it was a quick check. And then it's just like, why go back?
Yeah, this scene wanted you to just search everywhere for it. So, yeah, yeah, mean seed. I'll agree with that. Mean seed. But a question for you. This is one I borrow from one of my good pals in the randomizer fandom here. What? It's a teacherly question. What's something you take away from the run, good or bad? Just something you take away from it.
Well, I gotta not miss the freaking bottle in the bombable hut. I swore I went in there. I don't know. Maybe it's just one of my older seeds that's just like creeping up on me.
Hey, when you do a bunch of randomizer seeds, sometimes it can be hard to keep it straight, and I get the feeling mainly because I start a lot of seeds, but rarely do I finish them. So I can understand if that's the case.
One thing I like to do, especially on race days, is just only practice. And I practice by using practice ROMs as opposed to actually doing seeds. Because then I don't get it confused with another seed I ran that day.
That's a good idea. Oh, and Khloe too. It's kind of funny having a chance encounter with you there on Twitter. I remember you saying that you're kind of having a hard time with some of the practice things. Do you feel like you were able to get things ironed out in time at least?
Well, I feel like my execution was fairly good. I only had one unintentional death, which is a positive. It's better than 0 unintentional deaths. Or not as good as 0, but
Hey, that's still pretty good though. I was just more curious, as like I said, that chance encounter. So.
I mean, yeah, there was a lot of room for improvement. I mean, if you really want to be honest, if you made the gamble and picked up Skull Woods and got the Ice Rod, you could have go-moded, I think, Eastern Palace, Pod, and Misery Mire.
Misery Mire was like the god Misery Mire, wasn't it?
Yeah, the key was on the broken bridge.
Yeah.
But Tempered was in Misery Mire too, so it wasn't terrible to miss.
And let's see. Oh, and Hyo will be picking up the big key shortly. So yeah, after the nice server arrow pokey.
No, pokies are in Turtle Rock. These are vampire slices.
Fangs a lot. Chloe, would you
That's-
like to add a pun?
I'm not good with puns.
Puns all around. Good times for all.
Hyo going for like 100% clear, basically.
It's like, yeah. Go ahead.
I wonder if my Steam lagged or stream lagged or something. It says I have 4 bottles. Sorry, I loaded it up real quick because I was so curious.
Hey, don't blame you. Definitely worth following me after this one. You did a really good job of it.
You must have checked it then, and all of us missed it.
It's alright, I mean, I did it before I went into Thieves Town. I routed that really weird because I was a little worried about Thieves Town with like 7 hearts, and on my blind fight I had a half a heart left at the end of it.
Yeah, you had 3 hearts going in and a half heart going out. It was pretty clutch, actually.
Yeah, that was intense. That made the hair on the back of my neck stand up watching that.
I mean, gotta, keep drama.
Do you do a lot of blind practice?
I know I've practiced blind, sort of. I mean, I really should practice it more.
No, just the way you pulled that off, that was pretty dang clean, I have to admit.
I mean, it was also half luck.
Well, true. I mean, blind does turn into a pretty big shoot 'em up mode there after you get like 3 heads going on.
Yeah, I definitely didn't get the script. I don't quite get the script yet.
You were pretty close. You definitely got the first part exactly to script.
I got the first part. I missed my first swing on the second one, but it was close. But yeah, I don't know.
Any final thoughts on the seed at all, Chloe?
No, I mean, the dream is still alive. I might live to see bracket phase. Though going into 4-2 and seeing some of the people there, I know I can get a matchup that I just might not be able to win.
But hey, you know what? At least no matter what happens, you'll leave with a higher win than loss. So that's something to definitely be proud of there.
Yeah, I'm excited. It's better than what I did in Key Sanity. So, that's really nice.
Oh, I haven't even tried Key Sanity yet. I haven't been able to wrap my head around that one. But yeah, and Hyo making good. Ooh, just missed the last whiz rope there. Feel free and join us and say your piece if you like, Chloe.
Where did they find Red Mail? Was that in Hookshot Cave?
Red Mail was... Oh,
Did we
God.
actually? I didn't actually see where red mail was, honestly.
Okay, so it was Hookshot Cave, yeah.
And let's hope for no Moldezuma's revenge for Hyo here. That would be like salt in the wound at this point. That's where that bug catching net was.
Alright, I mean, I guess at that point it doesn't matter.
Well, yeah, it doesn't really matter, but I don't know. It's just kind of my own curiosity. Curiosity stated.
I didn't find the cape either. I wonder if it's in the last chest.
Could have been. Nope, just bombs.
So probably on tablets. I'm having a hard time thinking about. Oh yeah, Hookshot Cave and tablets are what's left, I think. Hyo did check big chests, so it's not there.
And it's time for Hyo to do some trigonometry. Geometry is probably one of my worst subjects in school, to be honest, but that's neither here nor there. Oh, beautiful triple there by Hyo.
Absolutely.
Oh, and those blue balls, oh, I hate those things. Then again, who likes them in Rando, you know?
Nobody.
Spoiler alert, it was Ganon all along. Something to ponder. So yeah, this should definitely be a fairly decent Ganon fight for Hyo as well.
Just 6 swipes on the first 2 phases is a lot easier.
And clever use of Cane there. I haven't seen that often, but I like that thought.
The downside of Kane here, there's 2. The first one is that you can't. It actually lags the game, which makes that phase a little bit longer. But the other thing is you can't spin, so you can't actually do Kane strats if you want to spin.
That's true, but it's an interesting decision nonetheless. Oh yeah, and I forgot about that usual Ganon teleporting all over the place. Float like a butterfly, sting like a good bee. Yeah, oh yeah, that was a really solid Ganon fight. And GG Hyo.
Hyo finishing with an official Speed Racing TV time of 2 hours 30 minutes and 3 seconds. GG Hyo.
Yes, indeed. Let's see if we can get him in here as well.
Hello, Hyo.
Hey,
Hyo, how you doing?
I'm doing good. That was fun. I,
That
I
was,
actually, I actually enjoyed that.
that was
Minus
a
the
lot
first,
of that seed.
minus the first 20 minutes. I had a lot of fun with that.
Yeah, those 2 deaths in Escape were
That was
pretty
terrible.
brutal.
That was one of those where you get loosened up because you realize you've already lost. So you just have fun with the rest of the game. So then you just
So-
start making crazy choices.
You know, I have to say, honestly, I thought you caught back up pretty well there from those 2 deaths, until that whole craziness with the ice rod happened.
Well, I'm gonna have to go back and watch that again because I realized when I got into Turtle Rock for the first time and found that bow, I'm sitting in my head thinking, "Oh, this could have just caught me up." And then my other half of my brain's like, "Finish Turtle Rock," and then the other half's like, "No, go." And if I'd have finished Turtle Rock, I'd have felt a lot better there. But yeah, that ice ride was crazy.
Yeah, I think that's funny. That's the second time now I've seen Sahasrahla have the final progressive item in my commentary matches so far.
I looked at the map pretty early, and I saw that it was in Skullwoods, or the pendant was in Skullwoods, and I thought, you know what, it's probably gonna be on Slosh tonight, and I didn't follow through. I waited forever to go do that.
Sometimes you get those hunches.
This is definitely at least the 5th time that he's had something of progression for me in probably the last month.
Yeah.
So.
Are you going to be practicing Hammer Escape again before the next round?
Yeah, that was pretty terrible. Yeah, that was more nerves than anything. But I've actually done Hammer. Probably that's the second most item I get, and usually I'm pretty good at it. Tonight I was terrible.
Maybe we can chalk it up.
happens.
Yeah, we can chalk it up to the wonky hitbox.
Yeah. I mean that first death where I'm just like hitting him, and I'm like, come on, just die, and then all of a sudden he just turns around and just smacks me. I'm like, well, that sucks. Now, Hammer's one of my favorite ones too, because that's half of progression for early stuff. That's good to go. That and bow.
But yeah, what? I guess what finally made you think, oh, Chicken Sahasrahla? When did that clue in, or like I know you said it early on that was probably going to be the thing, but like once you finally got to that point, I guess is where I'm going with this.
To be honest, I started to get myself locked into this is going to be a ped seed, and I just forgot about everything else at that point, and I was just go moding ped seed at that point. And then I get ped and I get book, and I'm like, oh crap, now I gotta go check all the tablets. And then I get the tablets, and I finally decide, oh, I need to go see Sahasrahla. But as I'm going to him, I realize, oh, I haven't done Pyramid Fairy either, so there's something else I got to do before it. So pretty much I waited till the very end to think about it at that point.
Yeah, that book was interesting.
Anyway.
I didn't want to see it at all. I wanted it to be somewhere stuffed in Cannon's Tower. Basically, I was missing ice rods since, because I went to Turtle Rock and I found the hook shot when I went the first time.
Yeah, I triple dipped Turtle Rock.
And yeah, it was.
I'm gonna have to go back and look, but was there any dungeon I didn't double dip besides Thieves Town?
Hera, probably. You got Fire Rod to finish it.
Yeah, you finished Hera in one, and you finished Meyer in one as well.
Yeah. Well, there's 2. No.
Anyway, that being the case, is there anything else you want to say about the seed before we call it a night?
Oh,
I'm good.
good, yeah, good game. Thanks for the fun run. I mean, It was a crazy seed for sure.
I definitely enjoyed it, and I guess I can now relax for my last one, knowing that it's pretty much just going to be for fun. Good luck, Chloe, on the next one. I hope you win.
Thanks a lot. I appreciate it. Well, I
No
looked up the
problem.
numbers. Sarhasala is required about 8.7% of the time.
That's actually a lot.
Yeah, wow. I didn't realize it that much. Dang.
Anyway, if you've enjoyed this race, do give our runners a follow. They put themselves out there to be playing for your enjoyment, and it is not something everyone can do.
Well, thank you guys for hosting this tonight.
And thank you for running. Our tracker has been Carissa. I have been D2 Kemps.
And I have been Rick. Any last minute things you want to say to D2 Kemps?
Nope, just there's races happening on all the speed gaming channels, and if you still need a link to the best randomizer fix, I'm sure you can find it. And I hope everyone has a good night.
Absolutely, and I do want to give my thanks to Carissa for tracking. Speed Gaming, please give them some love. Follow Speed Gaming 1 through 6 and ALTTP Randomizer 1 through 4 for more Zelda Randomizer action and other fun stuff. I thank D2 Kemps for once again having a great time as a commentary partner here. Thanks a bunch for that. And I also want to thank Chat. Chat, y'all are phenomenal. We would not be here without you. And as well, Hyo, I will never. This is going to be a drinking game at this point. Like, seriously. Hyo and Chloe for a great run. And like I said, Chat, we would be nothing without you too. And I'm Rex signing off. Thank you. Have a fantastic rest of your evening.
Good night.